Okay, I wanted to show what it's like to be camping out here and like things about site selection and like why the fire tent fits into this. So here's a nice gravel road up here on the Mogollon Rim. It continues off over there. And I stopped by and I saw this place here. I was like, oh, I'll check it out. Now, in terms of camping, you got a nice view, you know, and you got space, but it's right next to the road, which isn't my favorite. You know, it'll kick up dust in the weekend, etc., etc. But if you want to get a nice view, it's certainly close, and there you go. So I'm walking around this place, just checking it out, because my usual spot is they have a road crew working on it, and I just don't want to deal with having to, you know, mess with that. So anyway, so here we are. This is a really big place here. Excuse me, I can't. All right, this is really large. It's a big old place. But when you get closer to the edge here, you can see this great view over here. Okay, and what I'm talking about here is that if you were looking for a camping spot and you came upon this here, so you could put your trailer and your sleeping tents here, but you want to chill and you want to experience the view, well, you can set up your lawn chairs or whatever over here, or you could grab the old fire tent and set up here. Or you could just camp down here if you want to. And that's the whole point, is you have the flexibility. And today it is cold in the shade, like in the 50s, and hot in the sun. So this would be fun just for, check out that view. Not too shabby, huh? Let's see if you can see it. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let me get you a little closer. This super wide lens is great, but it's hard to see stuff. Get right up into it, like this. And then you can start to see way off in the distance, that's Payson down there. And then you can see part of the other projections of the rim, and then way down to there. And in real life, not super view, in real life, it's beautiful out here. And this is where I would want to enjoy myself. But you know, there's more, like I could set up some camp chairs here, and this would kind of like be the satellite office of the chill spot with the trailers and the, you know, the sleeping tents over there. Because this is a pretty slanted spot. If you look at the truck, it's so hard to tell with it. It's slanted like this, and this whole ground is slanted like this. So if you were to sleep here, you would definitely, like me, I'm sensitive to how I sleep. So I would have to sleep, you know, feet going that way, head this way. And it would be unpleasant. I could set up over here, but then that would interfere with, you know, the trail that goes to the view spot. You could also set up over here, which would be lovely. This would be nice for a big old tent here. And this is mostly level. And you could set up over here, right? But then you have these big rocks in the way, and that's a problem for when you're setting up a camp or, you know, a sleeping tent, depending on your mattress, of course. I'm more sensitive to it, so I would want a flat spot. But here, none of it's ideal. Your best sleeping spot is up there. So you could set up the fire tent. I'm going to set it up today right there and show you what that looks like. And you could have your chill spot here. And when the sun sets, and the sun will set over there, you're going to have this whole area just ablaze in sunset glory. And in the chill of the evening, you can set up a campfire. Now, we have fire restrictions, so we're not going to do that. But, you know, when the fire restrictions ease, or if it's even rainy up here, you can still have your, well, sanctuary spot. Or if you wanted to, you can set it up here. Now, this land is very sloped. I'll try and see if I can show it to you. It's like, this is like level, right? And I know it's subjective, but this land is going like this, you know, and it's cattywampus, and you see the big boulders and stuff. But you can set up the fire tent over all of this, and this could be your chill spot. Like, this is kind of a natural indentation, and that would be great for, you know, a fire pit. Or if you wanted to This is kind of a flat spot here. You could set up the tents here. It still slopes a little bit, but you could. So what I'm saying is that with a fire tent, you have options. Instead of being stuck, in my opinion, more stuck with where you could pull your trailer, where you could put your tent, where you could put your RV, where you can even set up your ground tents, you know. And for me, it's critical. And I think it will be critical for people who are, well, who understand not understand it, you know, it'll be their point. They'll be like, oh yeah, right. And you see, this is a very irregular spot, but it's beautiful. And that's the whole magic of the fire tent being able to be a flexible design. It takes up a certain space, but you're not limited to, you know, flat ground, rectangular space. You know, it's got to be graded. This you can set up in this irregular nature. You know, I don't know what to say. Like, you know, nature happens, but I want to be here. I want to enjoy this for extended periods of time, and that's what the fire tent allows. So I'm going to set it up here. It's kind of a square shape, but I think I'm going to set up rectangular lengthways this way, and then you know, it'll just be a good illustration. I came up here initially to set this up and to do some video to try and show how big it is, because with this lens on the GoPro, as awesome as it is, you know, it flattens things and makes big things look small, and that's just where we are with technology. And if I were to do a drone shot of the fire tent, it wouldn't do anything. I'm gonna park the truck underneath it, I think, and set up a little living room space. I brought some chairs and such, and show you how much space there is, because that's critical to understanding how awesome it is, because you can have a large living space which helps to be a relaxation space, you know, on a slope, on the side of a hill here, or on the flat if you want, or wherever you damn well please. I mean, this is actually, I've had it on slopes like very steep. You know, it's not so much fun, but you could do it anyway. So without too much more ado, I'll get to it. I set up my little GoPro. Actually, I should show you my GoPro table. And it takes like 2.5 hours to get up here. So I drive up and then you know, take a break and kind of unpack. Here's my my little table I set up. I love this thing, and my little GoPro kit that I've been working on. There will be other videos about that, and then we'll get to work over there. Maybe after a beer, maybe not. I don't know. Should I tell you? I don't know. Oh, here's my trunk. I like to just show, like, oh, it's not sexy, you know. It's not sexy. It's real world. There's oil. My truck was low on oil. Oh, I don't want to know. But anyway, I put oil on it. There we go. I brought a carpet. It's from my garage. Someone threw it away. I use it. It's just a nice little thing. I was thinking about setting it up as just to see what it's like to have a carpet over the dirt, and camp chairs, and the fire tent's buried underneath there. And you know, this ain't sexed up, yo. This is just stuff I threw in the back of the truck, and that's the whole point. Once you have the fire tent in the truck, and you know, whatever you need to sleep overnight, you're good. You're good, baby. Okay, I will stop talking, at least for a while. Okay, I just finished setting her up, and I realized that my other videos didn't show the scope. It didn't show some of the details, and it's always hard to know until you have a little time and distance and you look at the footage, or, you know, kilobytage or gigage, as the case may be. So here it is set up. It's not fully tensioned yet. What happens is the wind will move it, and during the course of time, the stakes kind of work in a little bit. The wind shifts stuff around. You can cinch stuff up. This is just a fresh set, totally functional. As you can see, it's a little windy today. I have my window meter, but I'm assuming it's like 8 to 10. It's not so bad. You see how it kind of luffs here. So the goal of today was to share some details and some, like, to give a scope of how big it is in here, and how nice. in my opinion. Actually, it is nice. You know what? It's not even a guess. So here's some scale. So I'm 6'4". So look at this stake. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's like 7.5. Here's my head. Can you see that? Can you see that? So I walk underneath here like this. Like this. You see, and I'm like, I don't know, can you get that? It's hard to tell. Can you get that? So it's really big. So from here, from my feet up to the top there is like 9.5, 10 feet up there. Up there. And what that does, that gives you a sense of cathedral ceiling, so that when you're here, people have a sense to congregate around here. And this, you can have the fire either here or anywhere around here. Usually here is a good spot, because then you have enough space. You see, I'll set it up later, but you have a fire here and you have enough room to set up a chair, but you're still protected by the sun and the wind. So if you were to have, you know, rain won't fall straight down. It falls at an angle, you know. So you have to have, like, I call it the rain shadow line. Right about here is where people get wet. But you can still have a fire and have camp chairs all the way around, because it's so big. And you're not going to have your backs up against, you know, the weather. And that's the whole point. And even as it's blowing around here like this, at night, you can be totally cozy. And when you start a fire, this whole area becomes warm. Something about the canopy keeps the warm air in. Now, it's not like a walled tent warm, but it's very cozy. So you could actually be warmer here with a campfire than you would be at a campfire uncovered. And the best part, look at the view. As I said before, when this turns into sunset, and if it starts to rain or whatever, you can start a fire, and you're still in nature. You're just not victimized by the sun and the rain as much. You're still involved. You still get fresh air. You still get some UV. You still get, you can hear the birds. You can see the chipmunks. You can see the beauty that you're in. Right? It's hard to see, but there's, there's one row of mountains and a second row of mountains, and then the valley, and this is just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And one of the reasons I made this is because I believe in it so strongly, is because when we were raising our kids, there's a handful of primary experiences. At home, in the house, rainy or sunny. Outside at the house, rainy or sunny. Well, rainy kind of sucks, but you know, maybe you have a covered porch or the kids play in the rain. You go somewhere and you walk around the mall or the park, or you go for a hike. Okay, let's say you want to leave your town. Well, okay, you drive and you stay in a hotel. You stay at a nice hotel near a lake, if you want to, or a nice hotel in the city. And, you know, you pay an arm and a leg to sleep in someone else's bed and swim in a pool that has, you know, marginal sanitation, you know, or whatever. And you go down, you have the city experience. Or if you want to experience nature, well, you go to the nature lodge, which is essentially, you know, a huge building with all the modern fixtures out in the, quote, wilderness. You know, there's a paved road up to it, etc., etc. Or you can do camping. Well, camping's a whole thing to itself, and we know what that entails. But this allows you, well, I mean, you can use it at home too, by the way. This allows you to have a resort style experience outside. Now, I hate that term glamping, because it's like glamorous. You know, you still get dirty, you still get, you know, bugs, you still have smoke, etc. But this enables me and other people, whoever would use it, to be here in a way that's like it's home base. It's like a lodge, and you can be here for an extended period of time, and that's the fun. You know, if you have a sleeping tent, I'm a ground tent guy, so I'd set my tent up over there or over there, as the case may be, and that'll be my bedroom. But during the course of the day, I'll be here. And then if I want to go adventure on the motorbike or quad or truck or go for a hike, this will be my base camp. And it will be protected from the sun and the wind. And you know, if I make sandwiches for for hiking and I leave the mayonnaise out, for instance, or whatever, or the lunch meat out, well, the birds will get it, but it won't bake in the sun, or it won't get soggy wet if it rains. And that's a thing. So you can just throw a blanket or a towel over the food, put it at the cooler, whatever, and you're good. And when you come back, you know, everything's where it's supposed to be, unless you know, have human problems. You know, human people come by. That's a whole separate thing. Anyway, so behold, we have, so here today, our threat is hot sun and, you know, enjoying the weather. So now I have this beautiful shady spot that's massive. Look at this. Look at this. Huge. And the point is that the center section here is always going to be cool. Even though I'm going to have to move it around because of the, you know, the movement of the sun, there's always going to be a base of cool. That's what it's about, baby. Base of cool. But it's critical. And it's cool today. Literally cool. It's like 50 degrees. When it's 90 or 100, it becomes really critical. And something like this becomes a lifesaver because, you know, your other experience out here to be sit in the deep shade of the woods, which is possible, but the trees up here usually don't give that deep of shade, like not in a stationary place, or sit in the trailer or some other shady tent or something you have. And it's just not going to work. And if you have one of those pop-up tents or pop-up canopies like you see at soccer events or fairs or whatever, those are great. But there is nothing going to be this big and this cavernous. I mean, we're talking over 20 feet that way to the end. And I'll set up camp in here. I'll put the truck in here as kind of a visual aid to show you how much space is in here. And you get a sense of like, dude, I'm here. I'm chilling. This is my space. So, and then you can enjoy, I keep going back to it. Then this is your backyard. This is your view. This is your, what are they charge you more for view rooms at the resort. Well, how about that? Why don't we have that for a room? How about that, huh? You know? So, and this ain't $1,500 a night or whatever they charge you wherever, you know. Down in Sedona, damn, Sedona, they just like, poor people, they drive all that way to be in Sedona, and you know, some of those rooms are like 600 more a night. I'm like, what? I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, you could have this. So anyway, editorializing off, at least for the time being. So I'll set this up, give you a sense of scale, and then we'll get back to it. Well, there it is. Put my baby to sleep. Now that's my 6-foot bed, double cab, 2011 Tundra under my Firetent. I want to tuck her in at night, which is silly, but it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Like it. But you know, if you were out here and I don't know, if you wanted to work on it or had something wrong, you could pull it under. I imagine this would be really awesome for side-by-side guys. You know, one of the guys could, you know, carry the fire tent. The rest of the guys could have camp gear, and if they have to change a tire or deal with a tie rod or whatever they deal with on those side-by-sides, you could just pull it under here. It'd be out of the rain, out of the sun, you know. Like, look at that. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that. All right, I'll bring it in. It's black, of course, so you can't see it. Hang on a second. So there it is. So this is, I usually have this as the kitchen area around here, hence the carpet. I'll pull this out in a second, but just for demonstration purposes. And then this is usually the fire area here, because he goes up there. And then, you know, this is just, usually I use this as wood chopping area. And like I put the table here because it's still protected by the sun and wind. Like this will be like a the water station. We'll have drinking water and washing station. And then like over here I'll have like you know, snacks or drinking waters or something like this on these little tables, or pull them inside and use them to you know, play cards or something. So there you go. There you go. And this space here is still, I mean, these are the big chairs from Costco. These are the big ones. And you could, I only have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I brought 4 in my little kids one. You could easily, you know, double this. and still have comfort, and, you know, a kitchen and lots of space. And that's a lot of fun. The fire, usually, like a smart fire is about this, you know, flames about that tall. You can get up to here, you know, don't be frat boy stupid. You'll melt something. Keep it sane. Like what I do is, like, when the chair is here, even out here, it'd be like kind of normal. If it's set up like this, you have a nice fire and your knees will be warm but not burnt. That's usually the key. In cold weather or moderate weather, it'll just be a nice warm glow, and you know, no sun or rain to deal with. So how about that? Stuck that old Tundra under there, huh? Check that out. The GoPro makes everything look small, but this is one of the big trucks, you know. Big truck, big truck and fruck. Again, it's a 6-foot bed, so I don't know how long it is. I don't know. It is what it is. So actually I do kind of know, because having measured this, the section from the edge here all the way down there is 20 feet. So let's say the truck is about 20 feet for sure. It's got a little nose hanging out. Anyway, I'll set up the living room. And then I'll pull the truck out and set up the living room. Okay, so, you know, I wanted to camp at one of those national campground spots, but they're so lame. I usually don't like them. I usually don't have a view like this. But this approximates roughly the size and shape of one of those picnic tables. Usually it goes out to here. And I'll set up the Coleman here, for instance. You know, and this will be where the kitchen station is, and all the pots and pans here. And then the table will have, you know, the tchotchkes and the s'mores fixins and crayons and papers and jackets and bug dope and all that stuff. And people will sit, you know, picnic table style here and here. And I just wanted to give a sense of scope again, that you can have this whole kitchen seating area and it doesn't interfere with your fire area at all. You know, it's like a separate thing. And that's good, because you can have the kids could be, you know, burning themselves out. You could have the fire on this side or this side, doesn't matter. So if you want the fire away from the kids, just put it there and burn, baby, burn. And they'll be doing their thing. You know, I'll be over here making coffee and sitting down, you know, enjoying a good adult conversation, hopefully. And, you know, I like to do camp espresso. So this gives me lots of room to prepare and all that stuff. And it's not interacting or interfering with anything else. And I love it. I love it. So all the effort to put the Firetent up, for me, is worth it, because it gives me this kind of yield. It takes me about an hour and, you know, 850 calories or whatever. But once it's set, it's set. And, you know, I have my spot, my sanctuary. And again, I really dig it. And I hope this video gives a sense of how dusty and windy it is today. And I just love it. I want to see what you're seeing here. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. The slight mask you see on the lens is it's one of those foamy wind masks. I got to have it on the camera today because it's so windy. All right, let's see if we can go over here and see what we're looking at here. Right. And again, this is so tall. I should do it like this. So, like, this is me walking through. It's like an unboxing. Still going, and here we are. Do it back again. I don't, you never know what looks good on video or not. Some of the silliest things I thought would never be useful are like, wow, that's really insightful. So here's what it looks like from the outside. It's so tall, it's actually kind of hard to see. I have some logs over here I can step on. Let me get on these. Just step up here. This is what we're looking at here. So purty. So purty. Here, I'll walk around here. I find that when I make the still photographs, in order to fit it all in, it gets so distorted, it looks just so weird. Here, I'll get up on the truck. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we are on the truck bed. See, even on this, it looks distorted, but that's life. So like this, oops. And then underneath, that's what you're looking at there. That's a good view of it. And it naturally flexes like this during the wind. And the other editorial comment, not editorial comment, technical comment is when the rain comes, it's always a little bit of a guesswork as to which way it will shed. Now clearly the land goes this way, but you see it might actually puddle there, and you don't know until the rain hits. And what you can do is insurance, like if it's dry and you think the rain's going to come and you don't want to, risk a massive water puddle on the roof, you can take these tie downs and you can cinch them down to the ground. There's extra stakes, just cinch them down, and that will take that low spot and will channel it all this way. There's tie downs on the long sides too. You can do that as well. For this one, I would be tempted to do this tie down right here, right there, right this one, and just tie it down. Actually, I should show you what that looks like. I'm not going to tie it down, actually. I'll just pull it down. Because it doesn't have a rigid structure, it actually is very flexible. You can really pull on that and pull that down. Or this one goes really far down, like this. That would probably shed for sure. And then, so if it's sunny and you want to, or it's raining heavily and you want to leave camp and you've been bailing that on your own, you could do that. And of course you could do multiples. There are 2 tie downs on the long sides and 3 tie downs on the short sides. And they're all really mega strong. You can, you can pull it as much as it feels like. You would be nervous pulling it so hard it rips. Here, I should show this one. See if you can see it. This one here. Okay. Oops. See this? So this is what it looks like. And then I pull down, 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 and that totally changes the shape. And that's also a useful thing for if you get into really severe wind and you could tie down all sides. It would take more. I only have 2 extra stakes. So if you got into a real bad wind situation, what I would recommend is taking this is the floppy side here. This is the floppy side. Is I would take this one down and then stake the other side down. And if you have stakes of your own, you could tie them down, or take a rock and just cinch it down, or use a vehicle or something heavy, a log, and that would be a lot of extra insurance. I haven't done destructive testing on this yet, but it is very solid and safe, up to like 15 miles per hour gust and constant. It's not real pleasant to be under, but usually it doesn't last. The wind doesn't last. And obviously, because it's 600 square feet, it's essentially a sail. You don't want to get in a bad wind situation. But again, I think there are coping strategies to make it very, very safe. Shoot, if you had 4 stakes, you could stake down the center, kind of the belly, the end, and one of these other ends, and it would be very solid, because we'd all, would put pressure down on the center mast. And in addition to these side poles, essentially be a wind bivvy. Let's see what this one looks like. This one pulls all the way down too, like that. Like that. And just another note about these side poles. Now you see this is at quite an angle, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I've played with this. You can reset it vertical. You can go this way or whatever. And you can also, you see how it's Oh, this one's pretty in line. But you can go this way or you can go this way. Whatever makes it work is what you want. Because the ground is so irregular, you never know what the setup is going to be exactly. And sometimes you set it up and you'll be like, I should be working fine. But you have to reset the foot, you know, a foot that way or a foot that way or something, whatever it takes to make it work. And you know, I've done this enough times. I stopped trying to make sense of it. Just set it up like a rectangle, like I've shown you in other videos, where the tension lines go from the post to the other side, Not you don't want to tension through the main mast, but tension to the other side, and that usually works, you know, most of the time, and it's an awesome starting point. You can't go wrong unless you do, and then, you know, I don't know what to say. I'll just shut up at that point. All right, who thought I was so verbose? Verbosity.org. I think, because my other videos, I tried to keep them topical, but the ones where I rambled were kind of the most interesting. I think, though, you have a sense of the space under here, and I can probably dispense with the words for a while. I'm gonna chillax, man. I think it might be IPA time, even though typically I'm a dark beer dude. But see, I'm gonna just chillax here. Might watch a movie. Might watch my own movie, and just enjoy some of this afternoon. And you know, there you go. All right, and scene. I thought I would continue on the temperature theme a little bit. I found that I brought my thermometer. It's funny, since I've been doing the Firetent, I keep my thermometer and my wind meter in the truck in case I forget them at some point. Anyway, so under here, it is very comfortable for me. I got a light wool shirt. It's very nice. As you know, these don't measure ambient, but the ground says it is, what does it say? 61 degrees. All right, now let's follow this over to the sun. It goes up to 105, which, I mean, my truck says it's like 50 ambient. So, you know, it's just not that hot. But the point is that it's just such a big difference being inside. See, when I'm out here now, it's nice, but it's a little too bright and it's a little too direct to sit comfortably for a long period of time. I really like the shade. And so there you go. Now let's see what the temperature is showing on the canopy. Okay, where are we? Okay, so here we go. See if we can get a temperature here. All right, so we're 50 something. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we go up, and the canopy is showing 58, 56, 50. Oh, 48 in the shade. Wow, that's crazy. All right, let's see. All right, but in the active sun, where are we? All right, can you see that? Let's see. All right, that is 68, 65, something like that. But now let's see what the, like, let's shoot like the tree trunk. What is the tree trunk looking at? See, that's 74, 75. So the canopy routinely gives about 10 degrees of actual, oh, that's 74. Geez, always. I don't know, I take it back. 74, 75. But like my chair here, let's see. My chair is, see, that's 50s. And that's very nice to touch. And my electronic stuff is in the 50s. And that's nice. It's not even warm, and that's cool. And that's the way I like it. So anyway, just notes and living under shelter there. Okay, bye-bye.